You heard me right, fellas. The meeting and the recording will be one and the same thing. That's why never trust the government or something about surveillance.
Okay.
1985?
Are you
More
recording,
like
buddy?
reality. I guess I am. It was meant to be a test recording, but I guess we could call it the real recording.
Isn't that 1984?
Nice to hear what?
Isn't that 1984? Isn't that the book?
Well, 1985 is when Marty goes back in time, so I feel like it's basically the same year. So,
okay. I feel like, though, if you were to say the year 2019, the year 2020 are the same year, you would go, no.
Yeah, but then there's the perfectly fine argument of time's an illusion. We've all seen Arrival.
Well, with that, I don't know when I'm going to cut it, but welcome to the Capcom Podcast.
Here is hoping. Welcome to the Capcom. My name is Justin, your host, and that's Cameron. Welcome to the party.
It is me. I am actually...
And the person in Cameron's background. Hey, dude. Hey, come back.
I am currently in our study room at the dorm because I need a new place, and I'm just gonna keep moving around until I'm not bored. Most likely I'll be back up at my apartment next month when we do the next podcast. But yeah. So I want to talk about cool things. First of all, the Oscars, which I know you know so much about.
Nothing at all. It would just be an educational time for me, and I can make my witty comments about things you say, but they're not going to be based in any sense of education on the subject.
And then also, of course, talk about the new schedule that we've come up with for Capcom, our production schedule, which includes this podcast once a month, because I know y'all want to see us every single month.
I'll shout as loud as you need me to be entertained. That's
really
that's
how loud is that?
That's how it works on the internet. You just
100%. I want to also.
I
do need to give you a shout out today
me?
for a non-Capcom thing. Yeah.
Golly, guys, I shouldn't have.
Season 3 of Inanimate Insanity. It's really good. I love it. I love it. I love the pilot.
Welcome everyone to Inanimate Insanity Invitational. We got a once-a-month project finally back on Animation Epic. That comes out. We're aiming for first Saturday of every month, and so far we're still on track for that. Wish us luck.
It's fun. I really enjoy it. I know one of my biggest gripes with the series has been release times.
Oh, well, doy. So, yeah.
And I know we've had discussions about web content and how I want to make sure that we keep a schedule going and that we make things consistent. Right. And so that's the one thing I was like, II is so good, and you guys do such a great job over there. And I'm so proud to be able to call you a friend and know someone who works on that project. But that's always gotten to me is that you guys just... It's supposed to be a web show, not a freaking feature film.
Yeah, and well, that's why it's broken up into seasons, but chronologically now there's two events happening at the same time: the now monthly show and the previous show kind of happening at the same time. So the concept is we'll take our time on the movie-esque event episodes, and then while also having that constant string of content, because now we have once a month episodes, but then still the once a week content surrounding it.
So, was it your character that got eliminated this week?
No. Oh, well, I came up... Spoiler alert. I highly recommend you watch an Inanimate Insanity Invitational Episode 1 before you hear the words about to come out of my mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But, so Blueberry got out...
I'll put that link in the description.
After I say the loser. So, Blueberry got out first. And although I did not voice Blueberry, I did come up with. I didn't come up with the concept of Blueberry. My mom came up with the concept of Blueberry because we all had to come with new pitches, and I was very excited to come up with like a list of new possible characters. I threw out there like 6 different character pitches, and added on top of that. Okay, now that I'm done like talking about like these characters with like thorough stories embedded into them. My mom wanted to throw out just one idea, guys, and that's she really, really wants a Blueberry who always feels blue. And that's the whole pitch. And the gang went, I really like that. And I didn't mind because I knew, like, I was like, okay, my mom will be happy about that. And, back in my mind, I'm like, I pitched so many characters today.
Is that the only one that got accepted?
No, I pitched the character Candle as well. She went through a lot of changes, but I quite like her. she didn't get a lot of screen time episode 1. Blueberry, on the other hand, did, and
we get thrown out, so it's fine.
Well, we have several episodes ahead of us for all those characters. If we're talking about characters I voice, that's we got Goo and Silver Spoon, the Kiwis, the absolute Kiwis.
Yeah, I do. I think it was Silver Spoon is the one where I definitely recognize your voice.
Yeah, no, that one's not too far from my natural voice. It's just a kind of bad posh impression, kind of.
And Goo, I was like, I think that's Justin. I'm pretty sure that's Justin.
You texted me right after you watched the episode.
Yeah.
your thoughts on who I voiced. I assume without looking at the credits.
I was mid-episode.
Mid-episode.
I was mid-episode. Like, okay, I have to text Justin this. This is making me nuts.
I auditioned for every character. It was just it was very, very competitive. It was a lot of fun. It was the first time that we were able to come up with new characters since 2013.
Jeez.
So, in terms of new competitors, anyway. So very, very exciting time over there. And I've had, what's one less than the number 1?
0.
0 free time. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
I like that one.
But you know how it is. But
So when are you coming out with a new show on Capcom? Just
I'm coming out with a new show on Animation Epic this Saturday. It's not a crazy new production, but it is a new monthly segment.
So you guys aren't doing Inanimate Answers anymore?
We are. So the process on that channel is once a month new episode, once a month this new segment that we start Saturday that relates to the ending of each invitational episode. In the future, we're aiming to do at least one scripted piece other than Inanimate Insanity Invitational each month, starting next month. Because this month is our first invitational, our first episode of this new segment. We'll roll into that. And then a bonus content, which is kind of either behind the scenes, live stream, announcement videos, etc. So at least one of each of the 4. Inanimate Answers could really fit into either scripted or bonus content. It's not one of the more popular things on the channel for sure. So it could kind of flip between both. Right. But that one is there's another one of those in production as well. Plus the podcast on that channel, plus all the other Patreon perks. That's my life.
So speaking of schedules, let's go into Capgun schedules.
Wait. People want to hear about the Capcom schedule on the Capcom Productions podcast? I should run that one down.
So Justin and I have been talking. And it's mostly Justin and I doing most of the conversations about Capcom around here. And we do the chit-chatters. And as much as we love our other members, it's the 2 of us doing a lot of the talking and a lot of the groundwork and all that kind of stuff, trying to supplement everyone else who is super talented and crazy smart and we love working with. But so we've had a long discussion and we're going to be posting every single week.
Woo! Yeah!
Plus extra content.
Weekly.
I don't think
Cameron, how are we accomplishing this once a week process?
So with we are creating more content than I think we've ever created on this channel at a time.
That
Because
makes sense.
we used to do every other week back in like 2015, 2016.
Right.
When Arnold and I were still doing this in high school.
And I wasn't around. So
And you weren't around. So what we're going to do is last month, I think it's last month. Yeah, it must have been last month. We had talked about a new show that I'm doing, which I don't have a title for yet.
We'll call it working title. How about that? It works back to another Capcom thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of really funny if you want to laugh.
I laughed.
I'm not saying you. I mean you.
The audience. Now, the monthly show that I'm doing has two parts in it, right? It is basically I'm going to be exhausting myself to create a sketch every month, right?
Every month.
Every month. The fun part about that is I'm going to be shooting behind the scenes as I do it. So I recently wrote the script and I did a time lapse of me writing the script.
2 videos in one.
2 videos in one, correct. They'll be showing up on the first Thursday and the third Thursday of every month.
Right.
On the second Thursday of every month, we will have the podcast. So the new home of the podcast will be the second Thursday of every month, which is super exciting. I super love it. That's why we are releasing it on a Thursday, this podcast. Actually, we are shooting it the day before it's going to be released, which I've never done before.
Cameron's going to be scrambling after this, and I hope you guys are appreciative. But if you're not, write down in the comments why you're not appreciative, and then I'll have a little laugh.
And then the fourth Thursday of every month will be Danny.
Right.
Danny will come up with a new little shindig. I don't know what I was going to say. I had like 5 words in my head and I didn't know which one I was going to do, but shindig is what we ended up with. A new shindig every fourth of the month. And then we have our other content thingies, right? So we have some months that have 4 Thursdays. We have some months where we want to do more than one thing. And so we're going to reserve that last Thursday for other shorts. So I have 3 shorts in the pipeline that should be YouTube ready. And I have the BTS videos to those shorts that will also come out. So those will either come out on that 5th Thursday of the month. So for example, we might have one that comes out in July, because July has 5 Thursdays. Or something else. Or that 5th Thursday will be a podcast or something else that we might decide to do, right? But that's what we've decided on. Justin and I had a long talk about days, and maybe I just bumped my laptop.
Yeah!
You maybe want to talk about why we chose Thursdays as our...
Well, we were throwing around days, and we were just wanted to kind of have a day to call our own, and you know how busy weekends could be on the internet. Also, Thursdays seem to do pretty darn well performance-wise online, and maybe it's because on Animation Epic I have a younger demographic, so I'm not sure how all ages this concept is. But a lot of people say that YouTube's like very, very active, like after school hours in US wise, just during the work week. And I guess that applies to people getting off of work as well. Whereas weekends, people are often busying themselves nonetheless. I've over years and years and years, I've heard so many statistics on when YouTube is most active and when best to post videos. No one in the world agrees. You kind of have to roll with whatever sounds best. Right. And some channels do just perform better on certain days, and you could track that through analytics if you post on multiple days in the week, and then you test them side by side and see how they do. But there's so many different factors, like maybe the video that you posted on one of the days as opposed to the other was just a more clickable video. So it is hard to piece together. But there's also the sense of analytics will tell you people that are watching older videos And are they watching a lot of your videos on Sundays or on Tuesdays? So, point being, Thursdays is I thought was a nice day to call our own. But if you think that's silly, comment down below about why you're not grateful for.
Below, comment down below.
Well, comment down below. Yeah.
That was a terrifying sound.
Yeah, my voice wasn't warmed up. I feel like I could do better than that.
Don't.
I just woke up, so I mean, like.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
We're excited. I forgot. Yeah.
It's gonna be a cool schedule. It's gonna be a busy schedule. I feel like I am releasing the most videos on the channel.
Yeah, that is kind of how that works, huh?
Out of the 4 videos, I'm in 3 of them.
Yeah. Whew.
You're in 1 of them.
I'm in a podcast.
And you help Danny.
I'll help Danny. But Cameron, the audience is dying to know. I can hear them in my this is
dying.
the headphone that's covering an ear right now. But they're dying to know, Cameron, what happens on 5 weekend weeks?
Well, as I said before, Justin.
5 Thursday weeks. Did I miss that?
You did. But short films and,
Films.
other like small content stuff that we might do.
Small
so maybe
content
you can
stuff,
shine with a cool animation video.
Yeah, I animate. No, I don't. Yeah, totally. That sounds good.
But
Yeah,
you can come up with a short film that you want to do. Like we could do kind of stuff like that.
I do have a concept that I'll throw out later. But I could also make a short film with it's the Dr. Otterson show. Starring me, Mr. Otterson. I forget if his name's Otterton or Otterson. It's whatever the one. There's a Zootopia character that's like Mr. Otterton or Mr. Otterson, and I made sure that he was the one that wasn't that last name. So he's unique, just like our Thursdays at Capcom Productions. You ask me a question, I will answer it. Otterson. That's his theme song. So that's a new show that we just came up with, and I hope you get heckin' hyped for it, because he's kind of a born star if you hadn't noticed. He's fluffy, so.
So anyway, I've just
wants to get far away from that one. Just as far away as possible. It never happens. It will never happen.
Justin, sometimes we have bits where they land really well.
And you want to compliment me about how well this bit just went.
And then there are bits that land well, but I don't know how to move on from them, so I just kind of do heartbreak, and that was one of those.
Cameron, they usually advise that you go with a yes and approach. If you want to give that a try at some point. It's called keeping the bit going, as opposed to shattering everyone's hopes and dreams.
I feel like you're salty.
I don't care. I was yes-anding myself, actually.
Well, actually, I just yes-anded you.
Dang it!
A bit.
And I screwed it up! Why?
I don't know, man. It's okay. We'll be okay.
Will it be?
It will be. Trust me.
That's cool. That's all the reassurance I need on a day-to-day basis.
But
I'll make it through the whole day without crying too much.
I'm happy to hear that. I don't know how to yes and that bit.
Yes and me immediately, please. I'm so emotionally vulnerable.
I'm gonna move on. But so we have, as I said before, we have 3 shorts. They will all most likely premiere on that 5th Friday. One of them is a short that I shot back in August. That is in German.
I'll watch it subbed, probably.
100.
Or dubbed. Ooh.
No. And then we had the 2 projects that we shot in March, which actually I just posted another photo on the Instagram page from behind the scenes.
It feels like
for the political ad,
but it kind of just happened. That's a fun one. That is an Ito one. Look out for that one. Cameron, can people expect that within like 2021? What do you think?
Yes. I spoke with my editor today, and we want to have them all released by November.
Okay. Okay, that's
Both,
exciting.
all 3 projects are going to be released by November.
And all at once, and you could only watch them simultaneously. There'll be like it'll be a triptych, like 3 slice screen kind of dealio. That'd be an experience.
That
Maybe we
would
should do
be-
that to all of our videos.
Maybe we shouldn't.
What do you want? Like I don't know. Like the first working title, the second Danny Swiggleton, and the Jar Jar Star Wars Binks show that you used to do, like kind of all smushed together. Was it Space squished together in one video?
Should I bring back Space News? Should I do special episodes of Space News on the 5th Thursdays?
I have an idea. We gotta twist it up a little bit because you can't just reboot something and just do what you were doing, right?
Why?
that
That's
would be
worked
ridiculous.
before.
No, well, okay. I think you need a co-host, but I'm not quite sure who. I think we
Mr.
should have an
Otterson?
audition-
Should we have Mr. Otterson?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Otterson! What are you
The
doing?
bid is back.
Okay,
The
well,
bid is
I
back.
guess
The bid is back.
you're gonna have to hire a little co-host with not only adorability, but with years
Adorability?
adorability and years of wisdom. He's older than he looks, but he's still full of youthful energy.
Jeez.
Okay. I'll let him chill. I'll let you sit on the idea.
I'll sit
and
on it.
I'll
Thank
give
you.
you his number, so you
Perfect.
could get in touch whenever you want, and he'll deliver all the space news. He breathes in space, like he can handle the harsh conditions of the
He breathes in
news
space.
reporting environments.
Love it. So 4 videos a month
Yeah.
at least, plus extra content, behind the scenes of our sketches and of our short films. I don't know what else I can really say to that, because I feel like
we
that
say
is
a heck yeah to that.
heck yeah. Now another thing I want to talk about, where Justin was like, "This is purely for my educational purposes at this point." The Oscars next Sunday.
So we're gonna have a little segment that I suddenly like to call
Sunday.
Cameron explains things to the goofball. And I'm gonna put on a little bow to show that I'm the goofball. It's kind of a dunce cap, but it's a wrapping paper bow. Why did I put it like I was like, I can't even hear you
Hot
anymore.
take. Soul
take.
is an amazing movie, and it's gonna win the Oscar, which isn't a hot take.
The
But
slightly
also,
the slightly hotter take is that it should have been nominated for Best Picture. That's the way that you get me to pay attention to the Oscars.
Justin, I was about to actually say
Yeah, boy! What the heck? Soul was awesome. Now,
Soul was
did I
awesome.
see anything else nominated for Best Picture? No. Is this the first year in years where I haven't seen at least one? Yeah, but that's the Oscars' fault.
Justin,
for
2
not
of them are on
nominating
Netflix.
And where's the time, Cameron? Where's the time? I woke up earlier than I normally do to do this podcast, just to show. If I need to get extra time in my day, it comes out of sleep.
If Soul would have been nominated for Best Picture, it would have been, from what I can see right now, the top of the pack.
Oof, those other movies.
Or close to the top of the pack. I
Okay,
have seen 3 movies so far, and I'm going to watch
Oh,
some
that's
more.
basically all of them.
With our buddy Logan's favorite, I haven't seen Judas and the Black Messiah yet. I haven't seen
I heard
Minari
it's
yet,
nice.
which I feel like Minari is going to be the one movie I'm going to freaking love.
Okay,
Um,
Minari is one of the few that I don't hear about often personally. Okay.
It's an A24 film too, so like,
Oh, okay.
and it's about an immigrant family moving to the U.S. and it's both in Korean and in English, so it's in both languages.
Okay, that sounds pretty hype.
And
be
I have
badass.
what else haven't I seen? I haven't seen The Sound of Metal,
I have not heard of that title.
which I didn't hear of until the award season, which is a movie about a drummer who has hearing loss.
Okay, that's interesting. As a result of the drumming, or is it just affects?
No idea.
Okay.
But it is on Amazon Prime for those who want to watch it. It is on Prime. It is cheap. Promising Young Woman I haven't seen yet, which I don't really know what that's about, but I've heard good things about it. That one I can find on Amazon for $6 to rent. And then we come to the stupid movies, which are The Father, Minari, and Judas and the Black Messiah, which I either find for very expensive, like $20 on Amazon to rent, and or it's on HBO Max, which I don't have, and I don't think Judas and the Black Messiah is on HBO Max anymore. But The Father also looks good. Anthony Hopkins, great actor. You gotta love him.
Yeah, totally.
Now, the three that I have seen, which has been Nomadland, Mank, and Trial of Chicago 7. I still want to know why Nomadland was nominated for Best Picture.
Whoa, frick! What? Who get that movie? I heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it, so I have no inputs.
So Logan thinks that the writing was a sham, which no. So I don't think there was a plot in the movie personally. It didn't really have a plot. How's that different from Logan's opinion? No, well, Logan's annoyed because they had real nomad people play people in the movie.
Okay.
Which I understand, but like also I don't see that as a valid point.
Is upset. Granted, I don't know anything about this movie. Is upset that the group featured is being represented by the group?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure Logan could better explain it.
100%. But in the context of it, he feels like it's just a documentary because of it.
Got it. I did see. I know Black Wolves talked about this at some point on their podcast. Is it not
go
meant
check out
to
the Black Wolves Black? No, what is it? The Pat
cast? Pat now.
They're amazing people. I love them all.
So it's not meant to be like a documentary.
I don't know.
You watched it?
No, but this is the issue with the movie. After watching it, I have no idea what this movie wants to be.
Okay.
And the director of the movie, I felt did an interesting job of not really knowing what this movie is supposed to be.
Usually that's not a job someone goes for, but I see what you mean.
The cinematography was beautiful, but it was helped by being at national parks and beautiful canyons.
Pixar animated it. I mean, like through the roof. So,
yeah, I had issues with that movie. Even Frances McDormand, who I usually love, was only so-so. Like, I loved her in 3 Billboards. I loved her in some of the other stuff that I've seen her in, like Fargo, and even her small roles in, like, Isle of Dogs from Wes Anderson. Like,
Isle of Dogs. So, no compliments on Nomadland. What were the other two?
Mank and Trial of Chicago 7. By the way, Nomadland is on Hulu if you want to watch that. These next two are on Netflix. I'll start with the one that I liked less, Mank.
What's up with Mank?
Mank is about Mankiewicz, the other co-writer of Citizen Kane, the other writer, of course, being Orson Welles. The movie basically brings the position of that Mank is the main writer of the piece, and Orson Welles just took credit to have credit. But
it sounds like an interesting concept, though.
It's an interesting concept. I find it to be very long. Not as long as The Irishman, but Netflix has started to have an issue with making long things.
Well, they probably just go to, producers, directors, writers, whatever, and say, hey, we want thing made by you, and because we know that people will watch it, just give it to us. So your worry is that there's not anyone at Netflix going, here's a little content control, a la like a normal studio or network.
There is no producer putting a ring on things, like putting a hold on things. I feel like at some points. which is fine. Just like, especially I felt it with Meg, where like there was a point where I was like, oh wait, this movie's still going on. And I had that with The Irishman as well. Otherwise, it was a great movie. It had some really great acting in it.
If it's really great, then what's wrong with it being more? You get more of the product, Cameron.
I know you're being sarcastic.
Half sarcastic, but I am curious as to what you'd say to that to some degree. I mean, like, I get it. If it feels like it could be condensed, that's always
because The Irishman is the same thing for me. Like, every moment of The Irishman drew me in. I love that movie. But it was so long. Like, I sat there after 2.5 hours and went, there's another hour of movie left.
I didn't see Snyder Cut, but do you think intermissions in movies should be entered into movies as a consistent thing?
It depends on the movie, but yeah. I
mean, these
even
longer
like,
movies, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, even Tarantino put an intermission into his like longer cut of The Hateful Eight.
Interesting.
Like when they did like the touring company thing where it was like the 70mm and the longer cut and everything. Yeah, they put an intermission in the middle. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. They used to do they did intermissions for what? For Gone with the Wind, which was super cool.
It was Gone. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So and so finally the movie that I've liked the best so far, and
The Trial.
The trial of all the 7 of the Chicagos.
This, I gotta catch up. I only saw the first one.
Talks about the trial that happened between the FBI and the 7 major figures of the protests in Chicago Democratic National Convention, 1962. Yeah. Otherwise, good. It was a really good movie. It was very compelling. You had Joseph Gordon-Levitt play an amazing role. You had Eddie Redmayne playing an amazing role. You had Sacha Baron Cohen playing something serious. You had.
But that's just a Borat. It can't be serious.
He was amazing. Everyone was so good in it. I did not have a gripe with it. Aaron Sorkin wrote and directed it. My favorite.
So,
and from those 3 movies, I think that Soul should have been on that list.
Yeah,
of good movies.
I loved Soul. Favorite 2 movies I saw last year. Well, from last year anyway. Were Soul, and I highly recommend Wolf Walkers. You may be wondering, how do you get that? How do you watch that? And that's a one on Apple TV Plus. And you may be thinking to yourself, I don't have it because no one has it. I'm gonna go, yeah, but Wolf Walkers.
Apple TV Plus is, I think, a great service so far. It has some really good content on there.
But meaning to watch Ted Lasso. That's what it's called, Ted Lasso. I've heard nothing but good things about that one. But otherwise, I don't hear about Apple TV projects.
I think they have a lot in the works still.
Sure.
That's their issue. Like, from what I've been hearing, they don't. They're not assuming a big overhaul of the content in there till late 2022. Which makes sense, seeing as they just started making content in 2019. Now, I know the morning show came out to mixed reviews, but I really did enjoy that show. I thought it was really good, with a really good cast. And I've heard some good things about some of the other projects. So we'll see.
Is it too late to jump into the streaming game? Probably not. I mean, HBO Max just did, and they're already doing pretty well.
Paramount Plus just came out. Peacock
Paramount Plus is not new though. That's just a rebrand.
Yeah, but they're creating new content for Paramount Plus.
That's true. Okay, I'll give you that. Sure.
Same thing with Peacock. NBC's not done anything like that before. Oh no, I do take that back because Paramount Plus was CBS All Access and they were making content.
That's what I was getting.
Yeah, you were right. I just forgot that it was CBS.
I was like, I had Paramount Plus before it's Paramount Plus. I have a feeling that
the Twilight Zone, especially because the one main show that I can think of was the new Twilight Zone show, which I enjoyed some of it, but that was
Well,
different.
and now you got Camp Coral, the SpongeBob spinoff.
Yes.
I think that's already on there, right?
I have no idea.
I think it's on there already.
Paramount. So Peacock. I think Fox is coming out. Oh no, Fox isn't coming out with this thing because they don't really exist anymore. They're owned by Disney Plus.
Yeah. I was gonna say bad news, Cameron. I'm not sure if you heard the report, but Blue Sky shut down. They shut down Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Now, was Blue Sky my favorite animation studio? No. Was it in my top 3? No, but like it's just Disney, the concept of Disney buying out a ton of animation studios and shutting them down feels like a legitimate possibility in the long term, and it's very scary.
I hope that the people in Blue Sky will transition over to Disney, or they'll create a new Disney company. Because those,
I was gonna say, like, I'm sure the best option would be to, as opposed to just add more and more and more wealth to Disney, just another studio would be nice.
I don't see another studio opening.
There's new animation studios all the time. Maybe not ones that are like directly connected to studios, like such as like Illumination and DreamWorks are with Universal, and obviously Disney and Pixar with Disney. But there are plenty that are not attached to like a bigger studio that just make animation projects. You'll see a lot of
exists besides those 4. The big
like,
ones. There must be one.
instance,
What's on Sony? What does Sony do? Because Sony has an animation.
There's Sony Animation Studios. I mean, they have Mitchell's and the Machines coming out later this month. I'm really excited for that one. That's on Netflix. They'll have, they have Spider-Verse 2 done. They released a whole slate of animated movies, some for family audiences, some for adult audiences, coming out within the next
I'm excited. I don't know if you know more about this, but I heard a report somewhere that Sony has signed a deal with Netflix.
Yeah.
That they're going to put all their stuff on there, which is good, because that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
I can't spend. I feel like it costs more money to pay for streaming services than it does now for cable.
There was Claws on Netflix not so long ago from what was it, Sergio Pablos Animation Studios, which is run by Sergio Pablos. For instance, but that had like an entirely like new visual vision. It was 2D animation that was very much made to look like it's 3D animation. Like it's a very unique art style, and that's kind of what you need. You need a lot of animation studios that are trying to do their own thing, because there's countless live action film studios. I think no one's going to disagree on that.
No. Well, I think the overhead cost of an animation studio is so expensive.
Yeah.
Like a studio for a live action does not need as much overhead as an animation studio. Because an animation studio needs all the equipment, I feel like.
I mean,
for the most part.
Animation Epic / Inanimate Insanity Productions.
What is your name? Because you have too many names.
Those 3. I mean, we mostly just go by Animation Epic, but like when we're our team working on specific projects for Animation Epic is Animations, and we primarily make an Animate Insanity for now. But there's possibly other non-II things in the works. That's down the ways. Point being, there's different ways to animate. Like
sure.
I don't see many feature films being made in Adobe Animate, but that's what we use. There's a variety of ways to go about it. You don't see stop motion animation much nowadays, but like it's still a thing. Yeah, and I mean, if you want to be like and go hardcore on that, then more with clay or puppets. That's a lot. That could be a lot of money, but you don't have to go that hardcore. Okay,
But I feel like
live
though,
action.
you know what I mean though.
Wait. Live action is easy to make, and no one who makes live action content should be proud of themselves. I'll put that out there. No one. No. Citizen Kane, more like Citizen Boring. They must have made that in 5 heckin' minutes. They should be ashamed of themselves. Now, Avatar, not the good one, but the James Cameron one. They could be proud of themselves because 70% of the movie is animation, so I'll give them that credit. It is the highest grossing animated movie of all time.
It's the highest grossing movie of all time. It took over Endgame again.
Endgame will re-release. They'll have a constant little war, which really at this point has no significance because they'll just one up each other, and it'll really just come down to which one re-releases more frequently. You know, it won't matter. It won't matter who's in the lead. But
you know why it really doesn't matter? Justin, you know why it really doesn't matter?
Inflation.
No, you know why it really doesn't matter?
Why does it really not matter?
They're both owned by the same company.
Now they are. Yeah, I mean, it's Disney who's like, well, there hasn't been a headline for the movie Avatar in a while, so we can get them back that number one spot.
Who owns Titanic?
Also James Cameron.
No, but like company-wise, I don't think it's Warner Brothers.
I'm gonna have to look it up real quick because I actually don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And I like to keep the illusion that I don't know things, so I'm gonna keep that one up for another moment. There's a real Titanic.
Don't tell me. Oh, it's 20th century.
Wrong Wikipedia page.
Production companies: Paramount, 20th Century Fox, Lightroom Entertainment, with a 20th Century Fox international distribution. So the international rights are owned by Disney.
Cameron, you're telling me there was a real Titanic?
What? Did you just tell me there's a real Titanic? Is that what we're discussing?
Wikipedia page first, and I'm really embarrassed about that. Well, okay, so what doesn't? What's the highest grossing movie of all time not? Well, here's the thing. Since it's all arbitrary at this point, why not just go with Gone with the Wind as the non-inflation?
Oh, you're gonna love this. Okay, these are the top movies. According to IMDb: Avengers Endgame, Avatar, Titanic. Number 4, Star Wars Episode 7.
Right, I remember that one came out, and we're all wondering if that could become the new
number 5, Avengers Infinity Wars.
Right.
Then comes Jurassic World.
Right.
Which I want to say is Paramount.
Let's just call it. Let's call everything we aren't sure of Paramount. I think that's safe, you know.
Let's see. Universal. I'm sorry, it was a Universal distribution.
Okay. We're gonna have to send a formal apology letter to John Universal, and hopefully he forgives us.
Then comes Lion King. Then the original Avengers. Then Furious 7, which was run by...
Yeah.
Give me a sec. I'm now looking these up as we speak.
That one's Pixar. Which is owned by Disney. Dang it!
Universal again. And then at number 10, we have Frozen 2.
Okay, so there's a lot of Disney, but like in a cute way, you know? Like they're just adorable little overlords that we'll pray to one day.
I can't. Then the only 2 movies in the the next 10 that are non-Disney are Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2, which is Warner Brothers, and The Fate of the Furious. So, welcome to our corporate overlords. I
mean, it's not news, right? I mean,
I know. It's just
to be fair, if I was gonna be taken over by a corporate overlord, I would probably pick Disney. I like their catalog, and maybe that's just the animation guy in me. But like, sure, maybe I would be rooting for Sony. Maybe I'll be rooting for Sony in like a year or two because they have a lot of cool stuff coming up. But at the moment, like, well, they recently had Spider-Verse, which was best picture that year.
Animated feature.
No, I'm saying it was the best picture that year. Period. But right before that was Emoji Movie, so like I feel like they have to win me over a little bit more. Mitchell's and the Machines. Catch that April 30th on Netflix. I think it's 30th. It's this month.
I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix buys them out.
They have been like flirting a little bit as of late, as you can see in the news.
I feel like that might happen. I feel like it's going to come from Netflix, not from Sony.
I don't think Sony wants to get rid of it. They have a very ambitious slate of projects coming up within just the next couple of years that they've released. Like I looked at it and went, oh my gosh, this feels like. Obviously, it can't be the equivalent of Marvel putting out like their slate of upcoming movies because those are all identifiable properties, and Sony has mostly all new stuff. But like they present it with like here's the timeline, here's the projects, here are the logos. It's like wow, you have a lot coming up really soon, and they all
Here's what I think.
Really cool.
The only way that this works if I feel like Netflix is gonna try to buy out Sony and then sell off Spider-Man. So that Spidey can come home to the Marvel family, and then somehow within
Spider-Verse
that
was like their biggest thing as of late, and I mean obviously.
The sad thing is, if that happens, then somehow Disney wins without Disney actually doing anything.
I'm not sure Disney would pay a lot for Spider-Man. I'm positive, but Sony like why would Sony? Here's the thing. Why would Sony get rid of their most identifiable property?
Well, if they sell their whole movie division.
Wait. So.
No, I'm saying to Netflix.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. Why would Netflix then? In this theoretical scenario, right? Why would Netflix be selling off what like the biggest property that they just bought?
I guess that's fair.
Out of all the Sony properties, Spider-Man is surely the number one biggest property.
I think though the Netflix would have a lot would have a lot better time of knowing what to do with Spider-Man. Because like honestly, I don't think that Spider-Man, and I don't know what exactly rights they have to the Spider-Man universe, like what falls under that.
I mean,
like
just theatrical. If you're asking
about no. I mean, like what characters we're talking about. Because they've done Spider-Man, they've done Venom twice now. Morpheus. Morbius. I was like, Morpheus, isn't that? I said Morpheus.
Yeah, but I thought Morpheus.
Like the Matrix.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, it's yeah. Morbius. The vampire guy that everyone's like, oh, everyone's favorite Spider-Man world character.
Okay. You know,
I didn't watch that. Well, that's not it yet, but Venom I skipped. But yeah, I mean, they seem to have a lot of stuff going on. They want to do their Spider-Man 3 that has every actor in the world in it. Everyone's making a cameo in Spider-Man 3.
Except the original Spider-Man, who's decided not to.
But yeah, that's a very confusing thing because there's so many conflicting reports. Some people are like, yeah, he's gonna be in the whole movie. He's gonna be like the second most important character. And other people are like, yeah, he's gonna cameo for like one scene. And other people are like, yeah, he actually turned it down. Like there's so many. You kind of have to just wait. I imagine he'll have a meaty role, and they're trying to like not play it up until like there's an actual trailer to like properly show that off.
But they have a title.
Spider-Man. Can't go back.
Isn't it No Way Home?
No Way Home. That's right. After they teased a lot of titles, they did a whole event with that.
Yeah. What was it was Far From Home. Now it's No Way Home. What was the first one?
Homecoming.
Yes, a lot of the homes.
Yeah, I'm surprised. And the fourth one will be Spider-Man and Sherlock Holmes.
That'd
be like
an interesting crossover.
It'd be a detective movie.
It'd be a stupid crossover, but it'd be an interesting crossover.
I haven't been the most crazy about. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I haven't been crazy about the two newest Spider-Man movies. At least compared to the older ones. And granted, I mean, Andrew Garfield's ones are kind of a mess. I guess I'm just comparing to Tobey.
Tom Holland as Sherlock Holmes.
Well, now we gotta. Well, I mean, if we're following in Robert Downey Jr. footsteps, I mean, he did
Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch.
No S word, Sherlock. That's and everyone goes, why didn't they say that during Infinity War? Like, I mean, like, yeah, they were together. Fair enough. All hail all Disney properties. Starting with Marvel. Actually, starting with Pixar. Then Marvel, then Disney, then
Star Wars, ABC.
Star Wars is in fourth place of those four, I would say. At the moment. I mean, like, I like
Star Wars has done a very poor job of making content. They've made around two decent things. Okay. Rogue One and The Mandalorian.
Oh, we're calling Rogue One good. That's exciting.
Oh, I love Rogue One. I enjoyed Rogue One.
I thought Rogue One was so boring.
I know you did, but it was one of my favorite movies.
I like Mando. I think Force Awakens is very fun. And I think Last Jedi. I love the A plots, and I could do it. I could live without the rest. But I love the A plot. Last Jedi. That's one of my favorite Star Wars things. Period. All the animated Star Wars stuff is good that I've seen. I watched the Clone Wars, and I'm like midway through Rebels, and that's all really good stuff. It's just live action where they seem to like chop the ball. You didn't see Solo, right?
I haven't seen Solo.
Okay, you don't need to, but just curious.
I know you've mentioned that before.
Did you see Rise of Skywalker? Because you don't need to see that one either.
I heard that one as well. I haven't seen that yet. That's still. I do want to see Rise of Skywalker. I know the twist. It's a stupid twist, though. I hate the twist.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're like.
It kind of feels like JJ went. This experiment failed, which everyone knew it should have failed.
Force. You did well Force Awakens, though. That's why.
The experiment of having 3 different directors helm the series.
2 different directors.
It was supposed to be 3.
Okay, well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It failed.
Okay.
The original director of the episode 9 was the one that did Jurassic World, which, okay, he might have done a good job. Jurassic World was decent enough.
Wasn't it going to be the writer of Batman v Superman or something? I don't know. I was like, let's get rid of that.
I don't know. I remember it being Jurassic World at one point.
No, yeah, director of Jurassic World. I don't know if that was writer-director or how that worked.
Yeah.
There's a lot of confusion there. But I remember seeing that and going, oh. So we're probably good. Because before episode 8 came out, I was a big Rian Johnson fan. He made all the best Breaking Bad episodes, of course. So
I still think he is an amazing director. I have no qualms. I love episode 8. I do really enjoy episode 8.
I always kind of like cover my tracks by saying I love the A plot of episode 8, but in reality, I do just in general enjoy episode 8. It's just that the stuff with Luke, Kylo, and a little bit of Rey. I just adore that. I'll rewatch just those scenes any day, which I can't say about a lot of the Star Wars catalog. But I mean, then he did Knives Out, which is getting its Netflix sequel.
And trequel. They're doing 2 movies.
Yeah, right. I love Knives Out. I wish Rian Johnson all the best, and I hope that the hashtag hate has been less mean as of late. I have been keeping track.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited. But, I think going back to Capcom for a second, as we tie things up a little bit.
Sure.
Because usually we do 40 to 45 minutes, and we've already gone to minute 55.
Golly! Yeah, let's put a wrap on this before we hit the hour mark and no one wants to click on the video.
I think we did a really cool thing with the content. I'm really excited about what's to come. And let's see, maybe we can revamp it again next year. But I think for now, this is where we're going to end up with 4 videos a month, once a week, plus extra content. Comment if you have any ideas for the show, for my show. I don't know.
I would like you to clarify what exactly kinds of things that they could suggest based on the kind of show you're making.
So I'm doing sketches and short films. So topics, specific prompts, a specific genre. Like if you have a suggestion as to what I should do it with, like how I should be making a movie, if it's a title, if it's a line of dialogue, if it's anything, just write in the comments. And just so that you kind of read it. And I go, oh, okay, this is cool. And I'll grab 1 or 2 per episode, and I'll use that to kind of spark my creative juices. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, with that, I'm going to say this has been fun, Justin.
I will see you next. Oh my gosh.
I do think so. I will see you next month for the next episode of the podcast.
And if there's any interaction between us before then, we're gonna have to cut that off real quick. We are podcast buds now, and that means that we can't waste any conversations on things that aren't being recorded. What's the point?
Love it. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Can't wait for the next month. Danny is coming out this month though with an episode. Yes.
Yeah, there's like a 50-50 shot, so we'll see.
Hope there's more than a 50-50 shot, but
yeah, I'll talk to him.
Sounds good. And we'll see you next month. Have a great one, you guys.
Boys.
Bye.
See you later, gamers.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.